Rachel Nichols that, yeah, he's the kid. He's the kid because he's the young kid. I was the kid one time, but he's the kid, even though he knows Kyrie Irving doesn't like being called that. And listen to him talk about how, oh, no, it's not that big a deal, him coming back here. Paul George is going to go back to Indiana. Dwayne Wade's going to go back to Chicago. Terrible comparison. But he wants you to think, oh, Kyrie Irving's disposable. No big deal. He helped us win a championship, but we're going to win another one without him. Don't even worry about booing him. Just stay silent.
I think Kyrie should go and beat them to the booing by booing LeBron right on the court tonight if he does this the courtesy of playing. Just start booing him yourself. Do like 8 Mile. Just boo first before they can get to you.
Well, the whole crowd should boo LeBron. He was the one that pushed Kyrie out. You know, that's
Okay,
right.
I mean,
that's
yeah,
right.
That's not a bad idea.
No, I mean, that's a good way to keep him there. Just start booing him, and he won't leave it all in a year.
Yeah, he wasn't the more important piece.
I will start right now. Boo!
Okay, right now.
Boo!
Let's go. Lights on. Okay.
Boo!
Oh,
Horrifying. It's like Halloween-y and scary and haunted.
Is tonight's game more important for the Rockets or the Warriors?
Nothing like that game one pressure in the NBA. But yeah, no, this is what I think about the Warriors here. When you're going through the season, there might not be much pressure on them right now, right? Because they've got the turn it on, turn it off mode probably better than anybody in the league. So they're not going to worry and nitpick about one game at a time. But it is really interesting in a season where they're almost guaranteed a championship. There are a handful of teams that said, okay, prove it. Because in any other year before the super team, these would have been title contenders. So now they have to be on their game. And if they start to struggle at some point and doubt enters their mind, you never know what could happen with them down the road. So thank you, Daryl Morey and Sam Presti and everybody else that made this at least somewhat competitive.
I do feel like I know what's going to happen down the road, and it's that Golden State is one of the best teams I've ever seen in my life before they added Kevin Durant. They've lost fewer than 40 games the last 3 seasons. This team is historically unstoppable. And as you talk about the Rockets, and they've got Chris Paul, they've got 2 of the guys. They're halfway to where Golden State is. You're talking about 4 guys. Nobody's got 4 guys. I'd have to add Anthony Davis to Houston to make them legitimately competitive with Golden State and have Houston give up nothing to get Anthony Davis in order to make that real. Nobody's got a chance this season. None of these games matter until we start playing playoff games, and even those won't matter either because I've never seen 2 players play as well as Kyrie and LeBron played in the finals and get their doors blown off. Had no chance whatsoever.
You know what the Rockets, they should do? They should play without shoes. In that way, they will distract the Steph Curry.
Oh, yes, yeah,
That's right.
Good. That's good advanced scouting by Poppy. Yes, foot fetishes.
Did anything the Yankees do last night make you question whether the Astros will win this series?
There was absolutely one thing that they did last night that makes me question whether the Astros will win the series, and that's that they won. Because it's much easier to come back from down 2-1 than it is to come back from down 3-0. It's not because Aaron Judge hit a homer or played great defense, because baseball is random, and sometimes you need to win one game 8-1, and then you make it a series that's just about 4 games, and it makes it more manageable. But there wasn't anything specific that has anything that is carryover in that sport. There is no such thing in that sport.
Yeah, it's hard to say the Astros bats will stay silent. It's hard to say they'll even get another performance like that one from CC Sabathia again. But the real thing that makes me have zero confidence in them going into this Game 4 is that they're going to be starting Sonny Gray. And Sonny Gray didn't start since Game 1 of the ALDS, got skipped over because he struggled in that game, and now they're throwing him in the fire here with the Astros bats probably ready to take off again. So, no, I don't think they have much of a chance. But, yeah, if you're going to start off in any sort of way to give somebody hope, 8-0, probably the way to go.
In the interim, 8-1 is where they finished. In the interim, though, can we show Todd Frazier's home run here? Because this is a ridiculous pitch that he hit out of the park here, outside batter's box, 97 miles an hour. And it's not even the best way Todd Frazier's ever done that. Look at this clip of Todd Frazier hitting a home run while he was in Cincinnati, not even holding on to the bat. He's just throwing his bat at the baseball, and it's flying out of the park. If the Yankees do more of that tonight and the rest of this series, they will definitely win that series if they can just keep throwing their bat at the ball and having it go outside of the ballpark.
You know, everybody's talking about Aaron Judge home run last night. You know, everybody's talking about that. But I noticed something else in the stat sheet, you know. He struck out twice last night, you know. He has struck out about 45 times, you know. He hit one home run. That's all they talk about, the home run that he hit. They don't talk about anybody else. You know what I mean?
I mean, he's right about that. We do seem to talk about only Aaron Judge on that team.
There are no stats there.
There were no stats there. He was totally faking that.
Why the blip would the Spurs give LaMarcus Aldridge a $72 million extension?
Not entirely sure. There is a little bit of a Patriots aspect to this, where if it's the Spurs doing it, you kind of feel like it's the right thing to do and it's for a good reason. But you're talking about a LaMarcus Aldridge who has been disgruntled, who has verbalized that, and who's coming off of the worst playoff performance of his career when he was supposed to be the man with Kawhi Leonard out. So the only thing you can think of is maybe Greg Popovich gave him a serious talking to. They had a heart-to-heart, and all of a sudden he's more okay with what he has to do for this franchise and not being the guy anymore. But man, this doesn't really feel like a marriage made in heaven.
There are questions about how much he cares, whether he's willing to learn how to go to his left, whether he's willing to learn how to play in the new NBA where he takes that shot out at 2 or 3 feet further. We don't know what those private conversations are, but I would go to his first point and tell you that if the Spurs are doing this, no matter how much we might question and find it mysterious, they have more information on this than we do. All of us are kind of finding this curious because LaMarcus Aldridge hasn't looked right the last couple of years, but I'm going to have to defer to the people who are investing more in this and who know more about this than I do and say they must know what they're doing because they've proven over the last 20 years that they usually know what they're doing.
Let me get this straight. I've been in business for a long, long time. He was real bad, and they gave him $72 million
That's right.
for being bad?
Yeah.
Boy, that's a real bad business decision. That's right.
That's the route I'm going. I'm trying for it anyway.
Most people are going that route. Yeah.
Coming up next on my son's TV show, Dave East.
I had some money on that, so I was telling them, I told you, pay me now, it's over, cash out. I need
Wait a minute.
mine.
So wait a minute. You got money on. You're not celebrating your friend's success at a pivotal sports moment. It's just about your gambling.
Joining us at the beach today, Dave East.
It's weird. Dave East has a beef with Izzy, doesn't want him around. His latest EP, Paranoia, True Story, is out now. Let's talk to him and get rid of Izzy. Did your dad want you doing this? Like, how did this arrive? If he was the disciplinarian, if he wanted basketball for you, how did he feel about all this?
He's not familiar with rap. My pops is old school. Like, he grew up in the Motown era. You know what I mean? That's his music. So rap is kind of foreign to him. So I had to make it. I had to really like prove to him like, yo, Dad, I'm making money. I'm selling shows out. You know what I mean? I'm doing these things with rap, but he wasn't really familiar. Like, he knows about Tupac and Snoop Dogg. Like, he's not into all the rap.
When could he feel pride, though? When could he understand it? Like, how much money were you making and how many arenas were you selling out before you could really impress upon him, hey, your son has made it at this?
I moved him. I got him and my mom a beautiful home. I bought him a new car. So I was able to actually show that this is what rap is doing. You know what I mean? I was able to move him and my mom. They never have to work again. They haven't been to work in the last 2 years. They chilling.
You knew a young Michael Beasley. Please give me your best young Michael Beasley story, because he's, walking around New York with a wristwatch on his ankle. He loves his SpongeBob.
Yeah.
I want one of the I want to know one of the early Beasley stories.
Beasley is my guy, man. He honestly didn't have the same energy since I met him. I knew him since I was probably 16, 17. You know what I mean? We both played with DC Assault. It's an AAU program out of Washington, D.C. And he always was silly. Like, he always was full of jokes. The first time I went to Vegas for the AAU thing out there, I was with him. He blew my mind early on because he was ambidextrous. He could shoot with his left. He could do everything with both hands. So we'd be in AAU games. He would be messing with the other team, shooting free throws with his left hand, with his right hand. Like, Mike always was just super silly, real goofy, but real genuine. Good dude.
You recorded at KD's house, correct? At Kevin Durant's house?
In his basement, yep.
How did that come to be?
I met Kevin in 10th grade. I was down in the DMV area playing ball myself, and we both was just kind of killing the area. That's where I first got familiar with him, and the ball didn't go for me how it went for KD. You know what I'm saying? So I got into the music. But he always been a fan of the music. He makes beats. Like, he likes to produce. So he invited me to his crib one day. We was in his basement. He had a mic set up. I think it was over a Kanye West beat, like an old Kanye beat. I got him to rap with me, and we put I think it's on YouTube. Me and him rapping together.
Have you been in contact with KD since the latest social media stuff? Have you talked to him about it? Are you like Draymond Green making fun of him, or do you console him at a time of public shame? How does that one work?
That's the homie, man. So he actually came to the studio in New York. He pulled up on me right before I put out my latest tape, Paranoia. He came to the studio, listened to the whole project. And it was funny because I was just explaining to him, I was like, the night before he won the championship, I had my mom on the Summer Jam stage in New Jersey. It was 60,000 people. So I was like, yo, bro, look how far we came from 10th grade in the gym shooting around. You just got a ring. I got my mom in front of 60,000 performing rap. Like, we both was able to excel in what we chose to do.
I don't know if you're a performance artist or not, but can you do a reenactment right now of when KD hit the shot over LeBron in the finals? What was going on with you? Where were you and what were you doing? What were you screaming at whom?
Yeah. I had some money on that, so I was telling them, I told you, pay me now, it's over, cash out. I need
Wait a minute,
mine.
so wait a minute, you got money on, you're not celebrating your friend's success at a pivotal sports moment, it's just about your gambling? How much money did you have on that game that the money came before friendship?
I was extremely happy for him, but I had a little bag on that, so it was both.
I mean, unbelievable. You made a seminal sports moment about you winning a bet. No, that's all that matters. What about love and friendship? No.
Oh, that was all there. I was happy for him, but, you know, I got paid too, man, so.
You were happy.
Kevin, I love you, boy. That's real fruit?
No, that is not real fruit. It's a question a lot of people ask. Only the banana is real. We get phone calls from Fred Hoiberg on it. My father's got a question for you, Dave. What do you got for him, Poppy?
Yes, David, what is your favorite thing to do with your daughter? Carrie Chanel.
My favorite thing to do with her, honestly, is just anything. Like any moment I really get to be with her, or if we go to the park, the move, even if we just go ride, if I'm just driving down the West Side Highway with her, I just like to really get to just spend time with her, just me and her. A lot of times I got a lot of other people around me, so when I really get to have that one-on-one with her, even if we just laying in the bed, like, it doesn't matter what we're doing.
That's really heartwarming.
That's
yeah, it's really nice,
nice.
but you wouldn't have been thinking about her at all if you'd won a big bet. Then love and your daughter, none of that matters. If you want to, yeah. All right, see you later. Good talking to you.
Gracias, David. Gracias.
Gracias.
Do you question if punters are football players?
Yeah, we do that all the time. Oh, is there video here? Because we were just going to question and move on to the next question. Yes, let's check in with Division III football. Oh, is he going to start breaking tackles?
Oh, no.
Okay.
Oh,
no, he's not going to start breaking tackles.
Did he try to hurdle that? He thought about it. Oh, no. That was a bad choice.
Okay. And how about useless number 90 there with the block? I mean, that guy wasn't helping anybody. That guy's in Division III for a reason.
Do you question if this fan play good defense?
All right, we've got Jaylen Brown of the Celtics. The Celtics are playing positionless basketball. Stevens isn't referring them as 1, 2, guard. They're handlers, they're wings. Here's one of their wings, Jaylen Brown, playing at the facility, game up to 5 against the fan.
It's real out here. All these people think they on YouTube and 2K, all that cool. In real life, we'll really bust y'all. Stay behind the computer.
You think you know me? I'm a pro, so I gotta bust his
I gotta find
on camera
in my
on his vlog.
Okay. Bad defense.
No, he's going to keep making these, though, because he's great at this. All of these, and you're not going to block any of them.
It's amazing how he would take this in a game and miss probably more than half of them. In this situation, he's making the ball.
But I think people forget how good these human beings are at basketball.
When Brian Scalabrine can dominate street players after he retires, and that's all you need to know. And Jaylen Brown should not even come close to losing this game.
That's also a foul, by the way. And there's as close as he came to making a basket in the entire game, right there. Yeah, see you later. He did indeed bust that.
You know who shouldn't play against a fan? Victor Oladipo.
Oh, yeah, you remember this? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, the crowd goes crazy.
Yeah, and there, ladies and gentlemen, is your microcosm for Pacers basketball this season.
Number 2 pick in the draft.
That is the
Is
guy.
that Isaiah Thomas? I think that was Isaiah
It looked a little like Isaiah Thomas there, didn't it? By the way, I'm sorry, Indiana. That's what you got for Paul George.
Do you question if man buns are part of the body?
Man buns are
You mean
part
the
of the
hair
body.
or the
Okay,
buns?
is someone being tackled in rugby by a man bun? We go Australia, South Africa. Who's getting tackled here? Where's the man bun?
There it is.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah.
Yeah, yes.
Oh, look at this. Oh, that is frowned upon in that sport. Yeah. Now they're tickling him. They're going to tickle him as punishment. That's not tickling. They're enraged.
If you're going to make terrible fashion choices by having a man bun, then you deserve everything that comes to you. That includes getting tackled by it in a rugby match.
I
I'm
mean,
sorry.
That guy should have been bald at the end of that play. Not wait till they get to the barber. Just bald because they threw his hair into the stands.
Well, I guess that can never happen to you.
Oh, really? Wow, that was well delivered. I didn't know what he was doing there. That was really well delivered by him. I thought he was just leaning back, being relaxed. Nope, he was going for my hair.
Time to play the game that bet Dan's life savings that the Warriors will not make the NBA Finals. See? Oh, no.
Tell us what's on television tonight. We'll tell you if we're intrigued or
Bad
not.
bet.
Bad bet. Terrible bet.
On TBS, Game 3, Dodgers and Cubs.
Yeah, really good baseball teams playing really good baseball. Let's check in with Justin Turner. I ask you this question here. Justin Turner, who looks more like they emerged from the wilderness? Justin Turner or Jason Worth? Look at this guy here hitting a game winner to end their last game.
This is way back, and it is gone.
And he's very excited because
home run for Justin Turner.
you're excited. That's why. The because is because it's exciting to do that in front of a lot of people to win the game. Izzy, are you intrigued?
I am very intrigued. I'm intrigued by Joe Madden. I'm intrigued by the first time that we actually get to criticize Joe Madden for his genius moves. I'd like to see that happen one day because it feels like we give him a break all the time, me included.
Poppy, are you intrigued?
Oh, see, I'm very intrigued. Every time the Dodgers played, I'm very intrigued. Now this guy, Justin Turner, you know, he got a lot of hair and a very long beard, you know. I bet that he cannot play rugby.
Oh, look at my father
He cannot
tying
play.
it
That's why he
together.
found his spot. That's right with the
all
Dodgers.
baseball
He
much
can play
safer.
rugby. That's
right. Nobody's going to tackle him by the beard or the hair bun. Why would they do that? It's baseball. Nobody ever gets tackled in baseball. I don't even understand what we just did. I don't. He doesn't know either. But we're going to air it. We're going to stitch it together, put it on television, and we're going to keep it moving.
In Japan, the NPB playoffs.
The NPB playoffs, okay? These are the baseball playoffs in Japan. Why do I want to check in with the baseball playoffs in Japan? Are you guys going to give me video temptation? Are they playing on oil? Is that oil? That's petroleum, correct? They've decided to play on petroleum, make baseball more exciting. Every once in a while, they light fire to parts of the field. No, that's just mud. Why are they playing in that kind of mud? All right, hot shot, hit down the right field line. What is this?
I actually love it now. This is amazing.
Wait,
It's the
who
best.
are these people in the left-hand corner of my screen?
This is how you fix baseball right here. This is how you fix baseball.
But who's raining down judgment from the upper left-hand corner of my screen? Just some dude's face. Okay, very good. I got nothing else on this. You want me to keep going? There was some dude's face and a lot of mud. All right, I'll watch that. Yes, see. Izzy, are you intrigued? I mean, no. Okay, not intrigued. Bobby, are you intrigued?
Oh, see, I'm very intrigued. I tell you one thing, there's only one other thing better than playing baseball on the mud. That's wrestling on the mud.
Oh,
that's
come on,
it,
Poppy.
buddy. That's
Like,
it.
I mean,
That's
come on,
right.
Dad.
That's right.
Mud
That's right.
wrestling. You're my
That's
boy,
right.
Poppy. Blue wrestling in the mud with my mom. Nobody. What? What?
That's even better.
No. Oh,
Close
you weren't
on
talking
rough.
about with my mom?
You want to know too much now.
Okay.
How do you think you got here?
Oh my God, that's dirty, foul. Nobody wants to talk about my
Only mud.
conception. All right, mud.
Yeah, we had a waterbed on the backyard, then it got muddy.
Oh, for the love of God, man, more details. Enough.
That's all the time we have for today. Thank you for watching.
Thank God it's over. Thanks for watching.
See you mañana.